Thank you so much for clicking on my video, and if you're returning, welcome back to my channel. Today, I want to talk about the Duke and Duchess of Sussex having a roundtable regarding gender equality during their visit to the UK. Let's get into it. Once again, thank you so much for clicking on my video. If you have not already, feel free to go ahead and like that video, subscribe to that channel, and turn on that notification bell so that you can be notified whenever I post a new video. I want to go ahead and say a very, very warm welcome to the Royal Court. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate all that you do, and thank you so much for being part of the channel. I also want to say hello to the friend circle. Thank you so much for being part of the channel. I really appreciate everything you do, and I'm so happy to have you once again. If you're interested in being a member of the channel, whether joining the friend circle or the Royal Court, feel free to use the link in the description box below to pick a membership, and I will see you on the other side where I have exclusive content as well as curated content based on your feedback. So today I want to talk about the round table that Prince Harry and Duchess Meghan sat at to talk about gender equality during their time in the UK. The reason I want to talk about this is because I feel like from the very moment they hit the UK, there was all this stuff in the media to discuss. There was all this backlash. There was all this, we got to say this, we got to do that. You know how the media does over there. You know how they treat them. So I felt like this got overshadowed for a couple of reasons. One, it didn't come out until, at least I didn't see it until after Queen Elizabeth had passed, and it came out during the period of mourning. And so to pay respects, a lot of coverage halted to simply focus on the Queen. But what ended up happening, it ended up being a focus on how Meghan was mourning the Queen. And so, her power. So anyway, we finally got to hear more about this outfit that she wore, this tan outfit that we didn't get to see a whole lot of. Now we know where she was headed. She was going to the round table to discuss gender equality. So I have plucked this article from People magazine, and I want to read it here that discusses the Sussex's visit to the UK and this roundtable. So the article that I chose, it's in the description box below if you want to read it yourself, but it was written by Stephanie Pettit. Now I have seen and I have used a few of her articles before, and I find her to be a really good writer and a very good reporter, and she is pretty down the middle of the road and she's pretty unbiased. So I felt like she was a safe place. Hopefully that doesn't change. So anyway, the title of this article is Meghan Markle and Prince Harry share new photos from Gender Equality Roundtable during UK visit. The byline says, as part of the One Young World Manchester Summit, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex participated in a discussion focused on advancing gender equality and inclusion. Meghan Markle and Prince Harry's visit to the UK included a vital discussion on gender equality and inclusion. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex traveled to Manchester, England earlier this month for the One Young World Summit, where they participated in a roundtable with 8 delegates on the topic. The conversation was moderated by Irish writer, disability activist, and fellow One Young World counselor SharionSade Burke, who Meghan chose as one of the cover stars for British Vogue's Forces for Change issue when she guest edited the magazine in 2019. Each of the delegates spoke about the social impact of their projects, from Swara Patel talking about the impact of period poverty to Shilpa Yalagada, who shared her approach to supporting women-led businesses. Meghan is often spotted sporting one of Yalagada's Chiffon & Co. pinky rings, which I was actually about to say that. Photos from the event were released on Friday. Photographer Misan Harriman, who shot Meghan and Prince Harry's pregnancy photos while they were expecting daughter Lilibet Diana, got behind the camera to capture the event. Also, he just posted a few photos of them from the One Young World Summit right before they walked out, and those photos are absolutely amazing. Delicious even. Quote, it was a wonderful atmosphere earlier this month at the roundtable discussion about gender equality hosted by One Young World in Manchester, Harriman wrote on his Instagram page. The photographer also shared a candid shot of the Duchess of Sussex hugging civil rights activist and humanitarian advocate Isra Shocker. Quote, participating in the roundtable discussion focused on inclusion, immigrant rights, and gender equality with the Duke and Duchess of Sussex was an incredible experience, Chalker said. Am I saying that right? Chalker? It was a privilege to have the opportunity to share my personal narrative and the advocacy work I do in support of migrant communities. I am grateful that the Duke and Duchess of Sussex create spaces like this one to connect with activists, advocates, and leaders creating positive social impact and change. This isn't the first time that Meghan brought Prince Harry, who she told Gloria Steinem was a feminist, to a discussion on gender equality. In October 2019, the couple joined a roundtable hosted by the Queen's Commonwealth Trust and One Young World. As Meghan took her place at the 2019 event, she thanked the group for letting Harry crash the party. Quote, "In terms of gender equality, which has been something I have championed for quite a long time, I think that conversation can't happen without men being part of it," Meghan said. "And this is something that is also very key to the way my husband feels and has been working in this space since 2013, which a lot of people don't notice as much. I think that's what's really important. You can't have a conversation about women's empowerment with just women." It seemed to make complete sense to let him join today. Following the September 5th roundtable, Meghan took the stage to give the keynote speech at the One Young World Summit. Quote, "It's very nice to be back in the UK, and it's very nice to be back with all of you at One World," Meghan began, calling back to her history with the organization for which she has served as a counselor since 2014. She said she was probably a lot like each of you when she first got involved, young, ambitious, advocating for the things I deeply and profoundly believe in. Quote, "My worldview has expanded exponentially, seeing the global community through the eyes of my child, and I would ask, what is this world he would come to adopt? And, quote, what can I do to make it better?" The bench author added. Meghan and Prince Harry welcomed son Archie in 2019 and daughter Lilibet last year. So I found this to be an amazing article because it got right to the meat and potatoes, but I also found it to be interesting that so many people were shocked about her making the statement. I remember when she first made this statement to Gloria Steinem, and it was covered in Vogue when she said that Prince Harry was a feminist, and people were so shocked. And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that they don't know what a feminist is. I think a lot of people think they know things that they don't really know. And not to be a jerk about it, I think people seem to think that feminist means thinking like basically woman supremacy, that women are better than men, and that women should be at the forefront of everything, and everything is women, women, women. And it's really more so about equality, with equality being the operative word here. And too many people don't seem to understand that or know that. Listen, I completely understand. A lot of people don't know these things, and they don't have a lot of in-depth knowledge until they've been directly exposed to it, which I've talked about before. But here's the kicker. When you become an adult, you actually have to seek out information and continue to expand your world. You can't just stay in your pocket and hope the information reaches you. You have to go get it. And this is exactly what I'm talking about. I said this in my last video yesterday. Meghan knows that the world is watching her, and she chooses to take her time to point out different things and world issues to make society better, since she has everybody's attention. And I think that's an amazing thing. Use your platform for good. Don't use your platform just in self-interest. And I think we've come to know that Meghan doesn't do that. I really enjoyed reading more about this. I would love to hear more about the roundtable, and I would actually love to hear or watch it if it was filmed somewhere. I would love that, because I feel like that's great exposure. That's great information. You have a lot of heavy hitters at this one table sharing vital information. But look at what Meghan is doing with her platform. A lot of people were basically saying, their visit to the UK was all about them, me, me, me. They love to hit her with the Meghan. But I would like to ask people what the alternative should be. Do you think that she should take all of this notoriety, all of this hard work, all of this effort, and just do nothing with it? And I've made this point before, that I think people forget that the Sussexes are rich. Let's just put it out there. They're rich. Like, they're rich in the way that once they finish this round of projects, they could literally just be like, deuces, I'm done, and not work again, and just kind of like live life under a tree peacefully. They have chosen to commit their entire life to the service of the world. That's a huge thing. And I don't think everybody would make that decision. As a matter of fact, I know everybody wouldn't, because even people who are literally paid to be mascots for world peace, they don't even do that. They spend their entire time championing world peace while being mean to their own family. Not gonna go there. So all I'm saying is, at the end of the day, I think we really need to take note of all of the change that Meghan is advocating for and what she's doing to see that it happens. I'm very impressed with her. And I've talked about this before on my channel too. A lot of people saw a biracial person and immediately were like, oh, she's all about herself. Who does she think she is? And that comes from their deeply ingrained belief of stereotypes and their deeply ingrained racism. A lot of people wouldn't even hear what she has to say, despite her being a highly intelligent woman, despite her being a very effective woman. She affects change whether we want to believe it or not. And I, for one, believe in her path. I, for one, believe in the Sussexes. And I think they can do whatever they put their minds to, despite their obstacles. It's crazy to me that after all this time, and we've been able to watch how they're operating, watch how they're moving, we've been able to really see what they're all about, that there are people still out there who have chosen to take the ignorant route. And by all means, do you. But I'm just going to say this. I'm excited to live in a world where Harry and Meghan are advocating to make things better. They are truly making things better. They're not spending their time talking about family and insulting family and talking crap about family. They're spending their time making the world better. And that is exactly what we should be doing. All of us could really take a page out of that book, especially if you are already. But I'm just saying, if you aren't, take a page out of that book. And what can we offer to society besides our gleaming personalities? What can we do to make society better? And I think if we all took that approach, I think the world would be much better for it. So I am still trying to find a way to get to Dusseldorf next year so that I can attend the Invictus Games. So I will continue to let you guys know how that's working out. My husband, his corporate office for his company is abroad. And so I already feel like I might have an in. I'm going to keep working my angle and see if we can fit it in, if we can maybe substitute part of our vacation for a trip to the Invictus Games. I'll certainly let you know. And the Invictus Games next year are going to be in the month of September. So that's actually perfect for a birthday trip. That would be a lot of fun. I almost signed up as a volunteer. And my husband was like, no, ma'am. We're going to go. If we go, we're going to attend and we're going to enjoy it. You're not going to be working. But I think it would be fun to volunteer. So maybe if they come back to America, I'll volunteer there. I'll volunteer at a local Invictus Games. I know they were in Orlando. The Invictus Games were in Orlando the year before I moved to Florida. And when I moved to Florida the first 3 years, I was in Orlando. I lived in Maitland. So, I barely missed it. But maybe the next time they come, they'll be right smack dab in Miami and we can have a good time. Who knows? So now I want to talk a little bit about the outfit. So we saw glimpses of it when they were traveling. She traveled in this outfit that she showed up to the Roundtable in. But now I want to talk a little bit about it. So the top was Brandon Maxwell's, the Eleanor silk polo. The heels were, of course, Manolo Blahnik. She has been kind of toggling back and forth between Manolo Blahnik and Aquazzura here for a little bit. But she wore the BB pumps in beige suede. The trousers were a camel baggy trouser believed to be the Altazzura tire pants. It's pending confirmation, so I'll certainly let you know. I'm getting this from Meghan's Mirror. And then the earrings were Sophie Buhai, and there were the gold vermeil hoops. They were very pretty. So that's the outfit. She kind of did this monochromatic camel look. It was very cute, very chic. She had a pulled back ponytail. And I love that she chose a polo because it wasn't too formal, but it was dressy enough, or it looked good, but it wasn't too formal. And it definitely was fitted to her. She looked really nice in it. And it was very slimming, but I also I love the length of the sleeve. It kind of came to like right here. And I love the length of the sleeve for some reason. I thought it made it really cute. I wore a polo yesterday, and the reason I even bought a polo, I haven't bought a polo in forever, was because I saw this look. So I thought that was kind of funny. So anyway, that's all I've got for you today. Please tell me what you thought about the outfit. And then tell me what you thought about the Roundtable. I'm excited to hear about it. And if you know any packages that I can purchase to get to Dusseldorf next year so that I can attend the Invictus Games, please let me know. I'm trying to find some like all-inclusive packages because I was born in Germany. I'm going to also make this trip part of my return to Regensburg kind of thing and see my old home and my old stomping grounds. So please tell me what your thoughts are. And if you have any packages that you know of that can help me get to Invictus, I want to hear about them. So anyway, if you haven't already, feel free to go pick a membership and join. Like this video, subscribe, and follow me on socials, and I will see you next time. Bye.